Hi everyone, welcome back to this amazing Flutter and Firebase series. In the previous videos, we covered the basic of setting up Firebase, designing user interfaces, and creating a stunning splash screen, login, and sign up pages. Now, in this third video, we are diving headfirst into the exciting world of user authentication. Today, I'll guide you through the process of implementing email and password authentication in your Flutter application. So, let's get started. Before we jump into the coding part, let's quickly recap what we have done so far. In the second video, we designed our login screen, sign up screen, and a splash screen, and integrated the necessary Firebase dependencies in our pubspec.yml file. If you missed that, don't worry, you can catch up by watching the previous video linked in the description below. Alright, now that we are all on the same page, let's set up Firebase authentication. The first thing we need to do is enable email password authentication in our Firebase console. I'll walk you through this process, ensuring you don't miss a single step. Open your Firebase console, select the project, navigate to the authentication center here in the build authentication, and in the sign-in methods, enable the email and password. Click save, and there we go. Our email and password sign-in methods are added successfully. With our Firebase authentication ready, it's time to dive into the code, fire up your Flutter project, and let's start coding. So here in the user auth directory, we will create a new directory called the Firebase auth implementation. And this directory will contain a file which will be Firebase auth services. Now this file will contain all the methods from the Firebase authentication like create user with email and password, sign in with email and password, sign out, and other stuff like that. So let's create a class Firebase auth service, and in this class first we will take the instance of Firebase auth, and its instance will be auth equal to Firebase auth.instance. And let's import the necessary Firebase library, and there we go. Now here we take the Firebase instance, and it's time to create a method for our sign up. It will be future and its type will be user, and sign up with email and password. There we go. It will accept string email and string password. Now we will make it async as we are signing up the user with Firebase, and here we will apply the try and catch blocks for catching errors and handling the user authentication. So try user credential, its instance will be credential, equals to the instance of Firebase auth dot create user with email and password, and its email will be coming from there, email and password. There we go. Put a semicolon here and return the credential.user. That's it. Now in the catch E, and it will print some error occurred. There some error occurred in the creating user, so we will print this for now, and otherwise return null. So that's it. If you look at it, there is some error because we didn't put the await keyword here. Now it's fully completed. Now our sign up method is successfully created. It's time to create our sign in method for the user. So it will be same as the sign up method. So we will copy it from here and paste it right after this. And we will change the name to sign in with email and password. It will accept email and password, and we will change the create user with to sign in with email and password. Now that's it. Our two methods are successfully created. It's time to implement them into our login page and sign up page. But first, we will sign up our user, and then we will check that user is created in the Firebase or not. For that, first of all, we will convert the stateless widget to the stateful, and here we will make the text editing controller for our the fields, text editing controller, and first of all, here will come the username controller equal to text editing controller, and control D is the shortcut for duplicating this line, and just change the name to email controller and also password controller. There we go. Now it's time to dispose them just to avoid some memory leak. So write dispose and hit enter. And one by one, we will dispose the username dot this pose, email controller, and lastly the password controller. There we go. If you remember, in the form container widget, we added some fields here, and one of them is text editing controller. So we will accept that in the sign up page, controller and username controller. Right after here, controller, email controller, and in the password controller, password controller. There we go. Now it's time to implement that Firebase auth services methods in our sign up page. So here we will create a method void sign up, and it will be async. And here we will create 3 string parameters, which will be username equal to username controller dot text. So when the user type is username here, so with the help of this username text controller, we will add his username into the Firebase database. But in this episode, we will not add any username or additional data of the user into Firebase, because it's just a learning step that how we can securely sign in or sign up our user into the Firebase. And the next one will be string email equals to email controller dot text, and the last one will be string password equal to password controller dot text. Now we will call the sign up method from the Firebase auth services. For that we will use this user equal to auth dot, oh, I forgot to access the Firebase auth services here. So for that we will take instance of the Firebase auth services in our sign up page. We will make a final Firebase auth services, and its instance will be auth equal to Firebase auth services, and there we go. Now with the help of this auth instance, we can access all the methods here in the Firebase auth services. So let's go and catch all the methods. Auth dot sign in, sorry, not sign in, but sign up with email and password. This email and password are coming from this strings email and password, and put a semicolon here. And again, we forget to put the await keyword here. Now you guys will be thinking that why I assigned this user here instead of assigning this await auth dot sign up with email and password directly here. I assigned this user here just because I will check the condition here. If user is null, so we will just return the login page. If user is not null, so we will return to the home page. So with the help of this user, we will check some conditioning here. So let's go. If user is not equal to null, we will print that user is successfully created. And after this, we will navigate him to the home page. Navigator.push named, and route name will be home. There we go. And in the else condition, we will print some error happen and put a semicolon. And there we go. Our sign up method is successfully created. Now it's time to add the sign up on the sign up button. When user press on the sign up, so all the process start working. So for that, we will remove this parenthesis and we'll paste the method right here. And there we go. Now Control S, restart the application. Now in the username, we will just pass like Harry. Email will be harry@gmail.com, and the password will be 123456. And let's try sign up, and there we go. Our user is successfully signed up into the app. Let's check our Firebase if there's any user or not. As you can see, the Harry is successfully logged into our application. Now if I click on the sign out, the user is not signed out. We need to sign out the user when he is logged into the app. So for that, go to the home page, and here in the gesture detector, we will simply call the Firebase auth.instance.sign out, and it will sign out our user. But when we sign out, let's check it out. Control S and sign out. Let's check the run, and as you can see that the user is signed out successfully. But after sign out, we have to navigate the user to the login page. So for that, we will use the navigator.push name, and it will be the login, and that's it. Hot reload the application. There we go. Now it's time to sign in the user with the help of sign in method. So for that, go to the login page, and we will not repeat ourselves, just convert this to stateful and go to the sign up, copy all this data from here, Ctrl C and login page, paste it right here and remove the username controller from here. Also import this. So remove this username controller from the dispose method and write in the form container widget controller, email controller and controller password controller. There we go. Also copy the method from the sign up, copy all this method and paste it right here in the sign in method. Just change the name to sign in. Also remove this username from here and change the method name to sign in with email and password. And instead of user is successfully created, we will replace the created with signed in. And there we go. Now just copy this sign in from here and add it right here in the on tab. So when user click on the login, it will navigate the user to the home page. First let's try some random email like david@gmail.com and the password will be 123 and 123. Login and nothing just happened. If we check the terminal, it will print the some error occurred because in the else condition we write here some error happened. So let's log in our user that we recently created, harry@gmail.com and the password will be 123456. Now when we click on the login, there we go, the user is successfully signed into the home page. We are in the final stretch, so let's test our authentication flow to ensure everything works as expected. So let's sign up a user. His username will be Andrew and the email will be andrew@gmail.com and the password will be 126. And let's click on the sign up. The user is successfully signed into the home page. Let's sign out. Let's sign in the same user we created, andrew@gmail.com. Password will be 126. Click on the login and the user is successfully logged into the home page. And there you have it guys, we have successfully implemented email and password authentication in our Flutter app using the Firebase. This is a monumental step towards creating a secure and user-friendly experience for your app's users. I have a little task for you. With the help of the boolean variable is assigning equal to false, you just have to show the circular progress indicator in the place of this login. When user write his email and password here and tap on the login, so just for a second it will show the login indicator and after this loading indicator user will navigate to the home page and do it same for the sign up page. So this is a little task for you guys. Just complete the task and let me know in the comment section. In our next video, we will explore more advanced features like password reset and integrating third-party authentication method. So don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss out as always. The code for this tutorial is available in the description below. Thank you for joining me today and happy coding.